flash of scarlet slices through the Italian countryside, gone in less than a heartbeat. Inside, champagne flutes catch the light, silverware clinks softly, and a barista's wand releases a hiss of steam into air scented with fresh espresso. At 300 kilometers per hour, the world outside is a painted blur. Florence vanishes, Rome appears, and Milan is already calling. This is Frecciarossa, Italy's bullet of elegance, where engineering brilliance and luxury collide on steel rails. But behind the polished leather and precision engineering lies a quiet rivalry, a race to redefine the future of European travel. They call it the Red Arrow, a name chosen not simply for its striking colour, but for the feeling it inspires, a sense that you are stepping into something purposeful, something designed to cut through both time and distance. Conceived during Italy's push to modernise its transport network, the Frecciarossa is not a compromise between speed and comfort, it is the embodiment of both. This is a train that understands its passengers want more than to arrive. They want to arrive with the memory of the journey itself etched in their minds. From the first sight of its streamlined nose to the moment the doors close, with a precise, almost ceremonial chime, the experience is choreographed to make every traveller feel like a guest of honour on a stage that runs the length of the country. The platform holds a stillness just before departure, as if the air itself knows what is about to happen. The Frecciarossa waits, gleaming under the Italian sun, its crimson skin polished to mirror perfection, its curves sculpted not only to cheat the wind but to please the eye. Stepping inside feels like crossing into another world. Executive class greets passengers with wide leather-clad armchairs that can swivel to face companions or frame the passing landscape like a moving canvas. Freshly plated meals arrive with elegance, each dish echoing Italy's culinary heritage. While coffee is pulled by a trained barista, its aroma filling the cabin like a quiet promise of comfort. Even in standard class, there is no sense of compromise. The legroom feels generous, the lighting warm, the windows so large they seem to pull the Tuscan hills and Umbrian valleys into the cabin itself. From the first movement, there is a subtle shift. You are no longer simply travelling, you are participating in a performance of motion, a carefully choreographed ballet of speed and grace. But the Frecciarossa is more than theatre. Its existence was born from a wager, a bold gamble Italy made at the turn of the century. At a time when low-cost airlines were conquering Europe and highways were choking with cars, Italy dared to bet on steel rails. It was not just about moving people faster, it was about proving that speed, efficiency and elegance could coexist without compromise. Where planes demanded waiting in terminals and highways drained hours in traffic, the Frecciarossa promised a journey measured not only in minutes saved, but in memories created. It was Italy's statement to the continent that the future of travel could be as refined as it was rapid, as pleasurable as it was practical. And with each departure, the gamble began to look less like a risk and more like a quiet triumph. The story of Frecciarossa does not begin on the rails. It begins beneath the soaring arches of Milano Centrale, a cathedral of travel that has witnessed almost a century of arrivals and departures. Built in the 1930s, its marble halls and carved facades were designed to impress, a station that was meant to rival Europe's grandest. Even today, light pours in through vast windows, casting shadows across mosaics and ironwork that turn waiting for a train into a moment of theatre. Here, amid this grandeur, the Red Arrow awaits. As the doors close with their precise chime, the journey south begins, a line that stretches 470 kilometres, binding Milan to Rome in just 3 hours. Almost immediately, the scenery changes. From the urban sprawl of Lombardy, the train glides into the open plains where vineyards run in neat green lines, a reminder of Italy's centuries-old rhythm of land and life. To the west, the faint outline of the Alps lingers, while ahead, the route curves toward Tuscany, where rolling hills, olive groves, and stone farmhouses paint a view that could only belong to this country. Each section of the route feels like a carefully prepared stage, and from the windows of Frecciarossa, the landscapes are not simply passed, they are revealed. beneath the beauty lies a core of innovation. Frecciarossa is not only a symbol of speed, it is a lesson in engineering. It runs on advanced electric propulsion, drawing energy from a grid increasingly powered by renewables, which means the train's heartbeat is cleaner than ever before. The result is staggering: 300 kilometers an hour, with up to 80% fewer emissions than an equivalent flight. Engineers perfected every detail, from the shape of the bogies beneath the train to the distribution of weight across the carriages, each refinement shaving seconds while saving energy. Even braking is transformed. When Frecciarossa slows, regenerative systems feed electricity back into the grid, making every stop part of the efficiency equation. Inside, passengers discover another layer of design: silence. Noise insulation ensures the speed is something you feel, not something you hear. This is Italy's answer to a global challenge. Proof that performance and responsibility can share the same track, that the romance of travel can still be modern without being wasteful. But Frecciarossa does not race alone. On the tracks of Europe, rivals like France's TGV and Spain's AVE carry their own traditions of speed and design. Here, the contest is no longer measured only in kilometers per hour, but in the ability to transform a journey into an experience that feels unforgettable. Trenitalia has crafted Frecciarossa not simply as a train, but as a rival to the skies, a deliberate alternative to business class flights and even private jets. In executive class, gourmet menus created by celebrated Italian chefs meet wine lists drawn from the country's most prestigious vineyards, each detail whispering a reminder that this is Italy, where food and culture are inseparable. At the same time, personal service is attentive without being intrusive, making air travel, with its cramped cabins and rigid routines, feel suddenly impersonal. Even before boarding, VIP lounges in Milan, Rome and Florence extend the experience, so that the luxury begins the moment you step into the station and follows you all the way to your destination. In this way, Frecciarossa raises the bar not just for rail, but for what travel itself can feel like. For all its speed and engineering brilliance, the true soul of Frecciarossa is found in the people aboard. A business executive scrolls through slides in the serene quiet of executive class, their focus unbroken by the world rushing past. Nearby, a couple shares a bottle of Barolo, laughter soft but genuine, while the Tuscan hills roll like a living canvas outside their window. A tourist presses their face to the glass for the first glimpse of the Colosseum, eyes wide, capturing a memory in a heartbeat. Inside, the train is more than steel and circuits. It is a stage for fleeting stories. A young musician sketches melodies in a notebook, inspired by the rhythm of the rails. Families share quiet conversation over espresso, while a painter traces the light across sunlit fields, translating motion into art. Every carriage hums with personal narratives, each passenger composing their own chapter in a journey that refuses to be ordinary. Announcements from the conductor, Roma Termini, Milano Centrale, mark not just arrival, but the gentle closing of a scene. Travellers step onto bustling platforms, carrying the sense that the hours spent in motion were far from lost. They were experiences woven into memory, a passage where the elegance of travel meets the intimacy of life, unfolding quietly, yet profoundly, on steel rails. Frecciarossa is more than a way to move between cities. It is a declaration that speed can live alongside beauty, that environmental care can be wrapped in comfort, and that time itself can feel richer when spent in motion. Whether in the height of executive luxury or the quiet ease of standard, every passenger departs with the sense of having taken part in something designed with intention. In a world that often reduces travel to mere transit, Frecciarossa reminds us that the journey can be as meaningful as the destination, and as its scarlet silhouette fades into the horizon, it leaves behind a single truth. In Italy, time is not just saved, it is elevated. If you enjoyed this journey through Italy's fastest train, subscribe to our channel for more stories where engineering meets imagination.